This is BCB 106.6.
I'm so pleased to welcome Izzy Spilsbury, and you're the Health Engagement Officer for Severe Mental Illness at Mind.
Yes, I am. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting us in.
And you're new to this, but Mind has been giving us a regular update on what's going on and so on. Yeah?
Yeah, I think they've had it for 12 months now.
I think this is such an important part of our existence, in times today. Everybody's talking about mental health.
Yeah.
There's definitely some kind of increase in mental health issues for people due to all sorts of COVID, this, that, and the other. So it's the top of our minds. So you are just the person to be sitting here, right now. For people who don't know much about Mind, just quickly tell us what Mind is.
Of course. So Mind in Bradford is an independent mental health charity. It supports people of all ages from the age of 5 upwards. And we currently offer over 10 services to people living in Bradford, Airedale, Wharfdale and Craven.
Yeah, and you're about to start offering physical health checks for people with severe mental illness. First, tell us about that connection. What's the connection you're making between physical and mental health?
Of course. So between severe mental illness and their physical health, first off, severe mental illness is a diagnosis of schizophrenia, bipolar, or non-organic psychoses. So a lot of the time, someone living with any of those diagnoses might struggle with increased lifestyle factors, such as smoking, increased alcohol consumption, that naturally then has an impact on your physical body. So just by the fact of those lifestyle factors and the certain medications that people are prescribed as well, there can be a real impact on your physical health. And it's being more and more discussed as well, that real holistic approach between your mental health and your physical health as well. You might not want to go out as much, you might not exercise as much, that lower motivation, it becomes a bit of a vicious cycle. So that's where people with a severe mental illness are getting invited in to an annual health check, just because of that increased risk, really, with their physical health.
That's really good, because often I imagine people would be going to the doctor if there's a pain or there's something physically wrong with them. And then they come into somewhere else, another department in the health service probably, about their mental health, and never shall the twain meet. So I think bringing those things together seems like a really, really good idea, because, everything is interconnected in what we do and, so on.
Definitely.
And even our physical surroundings, how we live, might be the issue there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're inviting people to come for these checks. Who are you aiming at apart from, is it an age range? Is it anybody can come in to...
So at the moment we are working with anyone in the Bradford district all the way out to Craven and Wharfdale, anyone over the age of 18 and anyone with a diagnosis of schizophrenia, bipolar or psychosis. So it's quite a broad range, and currently I think there's recorded to be about over 7,000 people in the Bradford district living with a diagnosis, but that doesn't even include people that might not have a diagnosis or haven't got a diagnosis yet. So it's quite a broad range of people, but at the moment with those that we're working with, we're primarily trying to reach those that are most disengaged. So they've maybe not gone to the doctors for quite a long time. They're quite distant from their physical healthcare especially. So some people might be, like you mentioned, they'll go and look after their mental health somewhere. They'll get that seen to fairly regularly, for example, but they might never go to the doctor. So we're really trying to support those people, not only to take care of their mental health, but to take care of their physical health as well. So they really kind of support one another, and we get a better idea of what we can do to support them beyond that health check as well.
And you mentioned that you might be trying to get people who are not really engaged. Are you doing anything special to get that engagement? going?
So we work in GP practices, and we really work to try and contact these people through phone calls where phone calls might not normally be offered. We try and send letters out to patients, and with the recent resources that we've got as well, which just explains a bit more about the health check if someone doesn't know what it is. So we can send letters out, we can send text messages. We're just really trying to offer that kind of support that the GP might not have the time to do. The reception staff might not have that time to contact patients directly. The practice might send out an invite, but we're really trying to offer the practice support so we can almost take patients off their hands a bit, so we can go, right, we've got these patients to support, we can contact them, we can follow up with phone calls. And I think really phone calls would be the main way that we try and reach people. But if they don't pick up as well, or if someone doesn't want a phone call, we can offer that SMS support, we can offer the letters and resources as well. So it's quite a broad kind of overarching way of reaching people, really.
I like that joined up working. It sounds fantastic. And in terms of once you've started the project already, right?
Yes, I've actually been at Mind for just over a year, but we've been working from within GP practices since about mid-August last year.
Right, and what's been the response?
It's been really good, actually. We've had some real fantastic increases in the attendance scores at some practices specifically, where it's actually gone up over 30%, the number of people that have been coming in for their health checks.
So 30% must be a key number. We just had somebody on talking about 30% increase in immunisation.
Oh, right. Oh, that's the number of the day.
Yeah.
Today's percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been fantastic. So it's not without its challenges. Obviously, you're working with people that sometimes they might wake up on the day, you've booked the appointment in, but really struggle to get there. And some people as well might want a chaperone to go with them. The chaperone might turn around and go, oh, sorry, I've got something that's come up, I can't go today. So you do face it where you'll get someone booked in, that's fantastic, but actually they can't make it on the day. But in terms of the numbers, we're seeing some really good kind of positive numbers, and definitely an increase in the number of people that are attending, which is fantastic. So going in the right direction, definitely.
And I presume you can't be in every single GP.
No.
Right. So where are you actually working from?
So at the moment, I am working from 2 PCNs.
What's a PCN?
So they're a primary care network. So they're normally formed of a group of GP practices. So I'm working in 2 at the moment, one of which is based actually more up into Wharfdale, Airedale and Craven, which is Wacker. And then the other one that I'm working in is 5 Parks, which is kind of the westerly side of Bradford. So you work in quite different, varied places, but what we're really trying to do is have a number of us as health engagement officers that each of us works in 2 PCNs, and then each person, by all of us, we cover the whole of the Bradford district, which we're building up to it, so we're getting there. But I'm currently in 2, so at the moment I think I'm in about 8 practices.
And if anybody listening out there right now think, my GP doesn't have that, I wonder how I can get in touch with this service. Is there an opportunity for people outside of a GP practice, well, outside the ones you serve, to get the support that they need from yourselves, Mind?
So at the moment, there's not actually a direct route through to ourselves as health engagement officers from someone that's not in one of the practices we're working in. But the best thing to do is every practice does offer this and should offer this. And the best thing to do is to go, right, well, I've heard that I'm entitled to this health check, and it's got 6 checks that it carries out. I'm going to get in touch with the GP, or at my next appointment, I'm going to ask them, and I'm going to say, I've heard that I'm entitled to this. Could I get that booked in? So it's definitely the best thing is to confront it when you go to the GP and ask at reception, or ask a doctor, ask a nurse if you're in for an appointment, because every practice should be offering it.
I shall test this out.
So the other thing I think would be if if they were really struggling, it's always good to get in touch with Mind in Bradford, and I'm sure we could then go through the appropriate channels to make sure that they can get an appointment and they can attend their health check.
Wonderful. Well, sadly we have to bring this to an end, but it's great. It's been great talking to you and to learn more about the work, the amazing work you're doing.
Thank
and
you.
And that 30%.
The number of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And just to remind people how to get in touch with Mind.
Of course. So Mind, the best way is to go through our website, which either just type in Mind in Bradford on Google, or you can go to mindinbradford.org.uk, and all of our services are available on the website, and any appropriate emails or phone numbers as well. You can get in touch with us there.
Right. Wonderful.
Perfect.
Amazing work. Thank you so much, Izzy.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Yes, great talking to you.